helps. Here is an example of some of the things that we would need to be able to read the significant digits for. This is an image of graduated cylinders, and we're going to look at what each one would be measured as. Take a look at A. Here we see with A that we have the meniscus, the bottom of the meniscus, hitting the line. So we would say that this is 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 56.0 milliliters because it's right on the line. So we can see that it's exactly on the line as opposed to this one. With this one, you see that the line is, the meniscus, the bottom of the meniscus is not quite on the line. It looks like it's about halfway. So here, again, there's 10 increments in between the 3 and the 4. So we would say this is 4.123, and another halfway makes it 5. So 4.35 milliliters. On the C, for letter C, again, the meniscus is not on the line. 10 divisions between 20 and 30, making each one 1. So it'd be 20, 1, 2, 3, 23 point. Notice it's a little more than halfway, so I would guess it to be about 8. If you put 7 milliliters, that would be fine, 0.7. But I would say it's about 23.8. On this next one, we don't see the letter, but you can see the image. The bottom of the meniscus is just under the line. So it would be 1 measurement between 15 and 20. So 15, 16, about 16.9, because it's very close to the line. This is the one digit that's a guess, but it's also significant because you did see it. So it counts as a significant digit. Now this one is exactly on the line. So we would say that this is 76.0 milliliters because it's exactly on the line. And the last one, the bottom of the meniscus, again, is halfway. Now between 4 and 5, we have 10 divisions, but there's only 5 lines, so each one's worth 2. So this would be 5.2, not quite 5.4, so it's 5.3. 5.3 milliliters. So that's how you would get your significant digits off of your readings. Now let's apply those significant digits. Here I have the next worksheet, and it's use these numbers and express your answers using significant digits. Well, when you're working with these numbers, you look and you say, this one has 3 significant digits, this one has 4. I have to use the one that's the least significant, so I'm going to go with the 3 significant digits. When you take your calculator and multiply it out, you see that it is 3.33045. Well, I can only use 3 significant digits, so I'm going to use this one, and this one. I cannot use those. So my answer is 3.33. We have a meter times a meter, so it would be meters squared. Remember, your number has to have a unit. It has to have a unit for it to be a complete description of the matter that you're talking about. Now let's take a look at number 2. In number 2, the one that's least significant, this one has 4 significant digits. This one has 2 significant digits, so this one is the least significant. When we go to divide it out on your calculator, you would get 24.6428. Well, I only have 2 significant digits, so I can only use these 2. So I need to look at the next digit, and that's a 6. And what does that 6 tell me to do? It tells me to round up. So my answer is actually 25, and then it's meters squared divided by meters. So meters times meters is meters squared divided by meters. One of the meters cancel, and I'm left with my unit of meters. So it'd be 25 meters would be my answer. Again, you have to have the unit with the number. Now number 3 is a little different. It's an addition problem. With addition problems, go ahead and add them all up. So on this one we have the answer being 53.8 0.21. When you add it up on your calculator, the unit stays the same because we're adding, so we want to make sure that the quantities are the same, so we look to make sure that the units are the same, and they are. When you add digits, you can only have the number of decimal places as the least significant. So this one has 2 decimal places, this one has 1, this one doesn't have any. So my answer cannot have any decimal places. So my answer is 53. And the reason it's 53 is because 2 would say, okay, we're not going to round up, we're going to leave it, because 2 is less than 5. Now let's look at number 4. Number 4 is a subtraction problem, so you know that grams will be the unit, because the unit has to stay the same. When we go to subtract it, it is 26.56 grams, but I only have 1 decimal place here. Having only 1 decimal place, my answer can only have 1 decimal place. This 6 tells me to round the 5 up. So my answer is actually going to be 26.5 grams. Now in number 5, they're all multiplying. So it'd be centimeters times centimeters times centimeters. So I've got 3 centimeters, so it'd be centimeters cubed. I would go ahead and multiply it out using my calculator. And when I multiply it out using the calculator and then taking the number of significant digits, I get 6.7 cubic centimeters, because this one has 2 significant digits and this one has 2 significant digits. So my answer can only have 2 significant digits, even though this one has 4. When I multiply and divide, I can only have the number of significant digits as the least significant in the input. Number 6 is an addition problem. Because it's addition, I carry over the unit, so it is centimeters. I add using my calculator, and I come up with 3.351. But because it is an addition problem, I can only have the number of decimal places as the least number of decimal places. So this one has 2 places, 3 places. So my answer can only have 2 places. So my answer would be 3.35 centimeters. Moving right along, liters cubed divided by, this should be a divided by, liters. So that means I have liter times liter divided by liter. So that cancels, and it leaves me with liters squared. 150 divided by 4 leaves me with 37.5. But I only have 1 significant digit. Well, how in the world do you write that? You write it using rounding rules. This 7 tells me that the 3 is rounded to 4. So I would say 40. Notice there's no decimal, so this number is not significant. I have 1 significant digit, liters squared. Don't worry, that one's kind of tricky, but you'll get the hang of it. Number 8. We have 505 kilograms minus 450.25 kilograms. So kilograms would stay the same. If it was something else, you would have to change the unit in order to make it the same, because you can't add and subtract with different units. Then I would go ahead and subtract, and it comes out to be 54.75. Notice I don't have any decimals here in this number, so I cannot have any decimals in the answer. So this 7 tells me to round that 4 up. So my answer would be 55 kilograms. Number 9, I'm multiplying. When I'm multiplying, I've got to make sure I include all the units, so it's millimeters cubed, because there's 3 millimeters there. So it's millimeters cubed is my unit. I go ahead and use my calculator and get all the digits. This one's a long one. It's 0.001727776. I can have 4 significant digits here, 3 significant digits here, because this is a placeholder. Both of these are placeholders, so I only have 2 significant digits here. So guess what? I can only have 2 significant digits. So that would leave me with this number right here. The 2 tells me to leave the 7 alone. So my answer for this would be .0017, that's a 7, millimeters cubed. That's a 7. It looks weird, but it is a 7. All right, number 10. Last one. I'm going to multiply, and then I'm going to divide. Once I'm sorry. This multiplication goes with this power of 10, and this multiplication goes with this power of 10, so I'm actually just dividing. So let's, I'm going to teach you later how to input that in your calculator because I know some of you are having difficulty. So what we're going to do is we're going to write this in standard form. 10 to the third tells me that it's multiplied by 1,000. So I've got 1.278 times 1,000, which would be 1,278. Divided by, this one, 10 squared is like 10 times 10, which is 100. 100 times 1.427 would be 142.67. Meters squared divided by meters. The meter cancels, and I'm left with meters. Now I'm going to use my calculator and divide 1,278 by 142.67. And this, excuse me, this one's a huge number. 8.957734632. This one has 4 significant digits. This one has 5. So I have to use the 4 significant digits. 1, 2, 3, 4. This 7 tells me I need to round that one up. So my answer is 8.958 meters. Okay? I hope that helps you understand significant digits and how to apply them when we're using the math concepts. We'll get more practice using these, but at least this gives you a good start. Thank you and have a great day.